That should be good. Hey, what's up, everybody? Well, I had a weird revelation. I don't guess I have a turkey loaf. It's either chicken loaf or ham, or there's ham and chicken loaf, and then I can't even. I thought the other one was turkey loaf, and I thought that's what I had. But no, I've got turkey diced in gravy, which is also something you would do with leftover turkey. The ham and chicken loaf, I grabbed it. I literally just went and dug it out because I thought this was the loaf, and it's not. Which is a common thing that people do with leftover chicken, turkey, things like that, especially during the holidays. Whenever they're getting afraid that they're not going to be able to eat all the leftovers, they throw it into a loaf or something, or add some gravy, such as this. But if you were in the military back in the day, this is something that you would, I guess you would kind of feel like you were getting a holiday meal if you were out in the field, not able to get to an actual field kitchen, to a prepared meal, and you were stuck eating out of a bag. This right here would be along the lines of about the best you could do. So that and a ham slice. And some guys even would consider the ham and chicken loaf to be up that alley. So let me check I need to switch the chat. Wait, no, I better not. Just better check it. Hey, what's up, Storm Tracker and Sparrow? Hello, hello. Let's get these things down here. We're not going to screw around very long here. Going to give folks a little bit of time to get in here. I will make a quick post. I know I'm running a little bit late. I literally had to move a mountain to get the cases of these are literally on the very bottom, and I had to move everything off the top, which is about 6.5 foot tall. On top of it, I moved everything out of my area for Christmas, so yeah, that's what we got going on. All my stuff is moved and hard to get to. Lighting. Tilted to the side a little bit here. Let me stick a spoon under it. Might be able to see it a little bit better. Nope. Alright. Hang on just 1 second. Get some water going. Okay. In a minute. Okay. Make a real quick post. And then we will get kicking. Oh, can't breathe. And of course, my live stream is not going to show up on my homepage. What the heck, man? My channel's definitely been shadow banned. There's no doubt about it. Alright, go over to my channel. Copy the link. Make a quick post. And really, come on. Well, I thought I was going to make a quick post. All the loafs, they came in the MREs in the 80s and only the 80s. I think they stopped by 1990. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure they did. Maybe not. I'd have to go and look at the menus because I don't have them memorized like I used to. I used to have them pretty well memorized. I mean, I still got most of that knowledge locked away up there, but there's some of it that I have lost. Alright, so I gotta close out YouTube. This is so stupid. Just to be able to add a new photo. Golly. You know what? I'm just gonna take a photo. Nope, it still won't work. I have to close it all the way out. Alright, here we go. Try again. Going into YouTube. Hey, what's up, Germs? Mike, how's it going? Burger Butt, what's happening? Said what's up to Sparrow, I think, already, but what's up, Sparrow? Well, it gave me some good nasal spray that helps, plus occasional use of the neti pot. Yeah, I haven't went to the neti pot yet, and I've tried to not use the nasal spray as much as possible. Everybody in my house has pretty much been sick since, like, the 27th. So it's been, I don't know, you know, I get sick every year, almost, around Christmas time. It's just like become a tradition for me. I usually get some sort of cold or something. I don't know what the deal with that is. I wish I could get away from it. Alright, there we go. And using the wrong, it's not a turkey loaf. It's either going to be ham and chicken loaf or turkey diced in gravy. I think we'll probably go with the turkey diced in gravy. They're both from 1983. What is that? Well, that's a spider. Yep. So I got bit by a spider. It made me really sick a couple weeks ago. Actually, I think that's one of the reasons why, well, it is one of the reasons I missed a live stream. I slept for like 2 days. My leg got really messed up. It's pretty healed now. There's still a pretty big hard spot, and I don't know, somewhat of a, I guess you'd call it a wound or a sore where it bit me. But I mean, we're talking solid 2 weeks of it like getting worse daily. But finally, it's pretty good now. So, all right, throw this link up. Boom. Done deal. Okay. Turn this stupid phone off. Set it to the side. Then we are going to determine which MRE we're going to crack open and go from there. Alright. So I don't know what the contents of either of these are other than the mains. I don't know. This one feels a little bit thicker. And let's see. This one's a Sapaco, which means that it was not supposed to be in that. It's not one of the originals from the case, because that case was Right Away Foods. So this one probably belonged in that case. This one was swapped out. Like somebody took the menus that they liked out. I wish I would have. I can go back and look at my video and see what menus were missing. And then, obviously, they replaced it with menus that they didn't like. They did not like ham slice. They did not like the beef patties or the pork patties. What else was in there? There was 2 of these in one of them. I remember that. What other menus? There was a beef stew, which there was only one of those between the 2 cases. But both of the cases, the 83s and the 86s, obviously the same person had them. and they swapped those menus out because both those cases had multiples of the beef patty and the pork patties and the ham slices. So those were the ones they either didn't like, or they boxed up ones that they did like, which I guess is possible, but judging by the menus, it was probably them boxing up the menus they didn't like. I can't remember if there was a chicken a la king or not, which is one of those menus that was pretty well universally hated by most of the guys back in the day. I mean, everybody that I've talked to has at least a story from someone else or from themselves about not liking chicken a la king. So, I don't know. I got to do something about that spider. I mean, it's definitely dead, but it's like, it's weird. It's like sticking to me. Fork is sticky too for some reason. I think I used it. It's my wedding fork. Let's get rid of this guy. Definitely a dead spider. Doesn't look like anything harmful. Looks like it's kind of taking on a gold color. Yeah, I don't know. Just curled up and died, I guess. It's got like, I want to say kind of like webs around it. I don't know, it's weird. Huh. All right, let's determine the meal. This one looks like it's in better shape, bag-wise. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're both a little scuffed up. I didn't get to cut my fingernails either, kind of long. This one's certainly smaller as far as, it's vacuum sealed, but it's kind of like vacuum packed. I guess not extremely vacuum packed, but you can definitely tell that air was sucked out of that thing at some point or another. This one, on the other hand, has got some air going on in it. And I don't know, after the last MRE that I ate, which was a ham slice, I had some pretty immediate side effects from that, which is pretty unusual, I gotta say. Like, seriously, it's pretty unusual for me to get any type of stomach side effects especially within the amount of time that I'm still here doing a live stream. I've had it happen a couple times over the years. I mean, I've been doing this for many years now. Looking back, and it's probably happened maybe 2 or 3 times. Nothing major, but last time was interesting. When I first opened that ham slice, it kind of smelled like a pate or a processed dog food or something, kind of. But I mean, it still had a heavy ham smell, but it also had like this weird, a little bit of an off smell to it. But it tasted fine. It tasted really decent, actually. But man, oh man, did my gut not react well to that. Like, it was one of the more extreme, I guess, reactions that my stomach has had to a vintage MRE before. Like, it definitely, I could audibly hear my stomach just gurgling. And that lasted probably about, I don't know, 2-3 hours. It was interesting. I had to walk away from the camera like numerous times last. So, I don't necessarily have a preference. I'm not a huge fan of the loafs in general, but I mean, I'll try anything once. I mean, or, you know, out of a certain package, I'll try multiple times. But I mean, a particular, I guess, serving or batch, I'll try at least once. Um, this is the one that I had intended on doing. This is the one that I had out, which is the turkey diced and gravy, and it does feel to be like it's a more substantial meal. But I'm pretty sure, well, they're both probably going to be pretty decent. Everything that Gabe, I've tried out of the cases that Gabe sent along, have been pretty decent. The ham slice being a little bit of an exception to that. I mean, I think you probably could have got away with eating it as long as you were okay with, I don't know, producing enough gas for a rocket to take off. I mean, you'd have been fine. I don't think it would have hurt you. But definitely my gut did not like me after consuming. I don't know how much I ate of that ham slice. Maybe about 25% of it, maybe a little less than that, maybe like 20% of it. I don't know how much I ate of it. I can't remember. Didn't seem like a whole lot. And then my cat really wanted it afterwards, so it wasn't bad. I have had mains from MREs before. Let me flip the camera around here. It's a pretty good gauge on food in general. If you have a dog or a cat and they won't touch it, pretty good chance you probably want to stay away from it. There's been a couple times that I have questioned whether it was good myself. Usually I know. Like, I'm going to say like 95 to 98% of the time, like, I'm like, yep, this is consumable, this is good. But on occasion, I mean, on a rare occasion, there will be something I'll be like, I don't know, man, like, I'm not sure about this one. And there's been a couple times I've been in that situation where I'd let the animals test it out. I wouldn't just feed it to them, but I would let them smell it and see if they wanted to taste it. And if they don't want anything to do with it, pretty good chance that it was no good. Because most of these mains are meat heavy. You know, if it was something like, I don't know, a vegetarian meal, like, wow, how am I drawing a blank on vegetarian mains right now? Anyway, if it was something with just like some cheese or something or some TVP in it, textured vegetable protein that's kind of made to mimic meat, they don't want anything to do with that anyway. I mean, on a rare occasion they might take a liking to the TVP and the cheese, but it's rare. But like I said, if you got an animal, it's a pretty good gauge. If you're ever in a situation, I hope we're never in a situation where we have to judge whether food is too old to consume. What I do and what other guys that do what I do have done, we do it as a hobby, and it's fun. It's fun to experiment. It's fun as a scientific reference. I like to get into other old foods. I'd really like to start finding some other old foods. I've been looking and trying to find some other vintage foods to dive into. I especially would like to find some old cookies and some old cereal. Really would like to find some, I don't know, pre-World War One box of cereal that's still sealed, and preferably not one that's got a gazillion bug holes in it, like the one that I ate for the TV show. That Wheaties box was plumb full of weevils. Weevil carcasses. If they'd been alive, I don't think I would have wanted anything to do with it. I have found alive weevils before in my stuff, so in boxes actually that were sent to me, I found some. But yeah, I'd really like to find some old canned stuff, some just old food in general. And I've been looking. It's really hard because I guess the aspect of MREs and military food has this collector side to it, and guys do it. They've kept meals like that around for nostalgia. And then when you got into the 80s and early 90s and Y2K was upcoming, there was a lot of people that were putting MREs away. And in the Cold War era, there was a lot of people that put food away, military food away back then. And that's why a lot of this vintage food has stuck around the way it has. World War II food, stuff in tins, it it's just cool. It's collectible. It's got a cool look to it. So I feel like a lot of that stuff. The only reason it got to stay around was because guys would throw that up on the shelf and just assume it's fine. There's no, it's not going to hurt anything. It's not going to bust open and leak anything. The K rations. A lot of those guys would keep those because there was a myth going around for a long time that they would last forever, and I think that really got started with guys that in the late 50s, early 60s, maybe even up into the mid 60s, were getting issued, supposedly. I'd like to see some actual picture or video evidence of these guys eating K rations in the mid to late 60s. But I've heard plenty of stories of guys saying, "Yep, we were eating K rations," and I'd like to see it because I don't know that all those guys. I think it definitely happened. I don't think it happened as much as I've heard that it happened, if that makes any sense. I think those guys probably did get some somewhat not quite vintage, but out of their era and prior to their service type meals issued to them. They may even been 20 years old. I mean, they may have been from like the 50s. But I think that K rations was probably a rare thing to see. But I've talked to guys that worked in commissary, and they threw away pallets upon pallets of actual C rations, and they told me that they were doing this in the 70s. So, and that they would go through and they would pull the cigarettes out of them, and they'd keep the cigarettes and they'd toss the rest of it. Um, I know that the government has bunkers, and the reason that I know this, well, I guess this was 20 years ago whenever I done it. 20, yeah, about right at 20 years ago. It was 02, 03 that I tore out the presidential bunker at the Greenbrier. So at the Greenbrier, they had the presidential bunker that got discovered or got leaked, and they gave tours of it for a long time, kept it the exact way it was. They didn't change anything. When I went in there in 2003, and the galley in this place was absolutely humongous, which they threw events and stuff in there and used the movie theater, and people had no idea that they were even in the bunker because there was a secret passageway that came through the hotel. It is weird how it was laid out, but they would bring them in there and they would feed them and they would let them eat and watch movies in there and stuff. So I have a feeling that there's some really amazingly stored vintage food hanging around out there somewhere in these old bunkers. The ones that haven't been discovered. Because that bunker in 2002, 2003, whenever I worked there, whenever we first went in there, the armory was still completely stocked. I mean, they had rocket launchers in there. They had anything you could think of, small arms wise, was in there. And it had a great big safe door on it. Within the first 2 or 3 days that we were in there, I mean, there was military guys there moving that stuff out as we were coming in. We cut the lead walls out of there. We had to cut it in like little tiny pieces about like this and put it in a wheelbarrow. And it looked like there was nothing in the wheelbarrow, but the tire would be like flat on it. It was crazy, man. Like, I don't know why they cut that out of there. I think even though they knew, like, it got discovered, they should have left it there and let, like, the townspeople, if anything was to ever happen, nuclear fallout wise, let them go and use that bunker, man. Like, it had its own power, amazing power plant, water treatment facility, a crazy air filtration system, everything that you would possibly need to survive for years. The only thing that they didn't really have was a up-to-date supply of food. They had only ran the power plant. They told me that they had only ran that power plant 4 times. They had fired it up just to make sure it would run and power the place, and they would bring it back down. I don't know if they did it every 5 years, every 10 years, every 20. I don't know what they done, how they gauged when they would run it. I'm sure they fired it up when they first built it, and then I guess maybe thought it was sufficient and just left it alone, because you could eat off the floor in that power plant. It was the most impressive coal burning power plant I'd ever been in. And I've been in a lot of coal burning power plants. I worked in and out of power plants for 20 years. Actually, a little longer. Man, I wish cell phones were a thing back then. I would have had some amazing, cool footage back then. It would have been awesome. I had no clue what I was looking at. Anyways, my point of my story was, when we first went in there, one of the first things we did was went into the galley, and back in the galley, they had pallets of 50s. I think it was 50s era. I'm not even 100% sure, but it looked like ration combat individuals. They were 24-hour rations piled up on pallets, as completely full pallets with nothing taken off of them. And we took every bit of that out there and threw it in a dumpster. I never looked. I mean, I don't remember looking through them or anything. We just threw the entire boxes in dumpsters. Today, value-wise, as good a shape as that stuff was in, there was no leakage. I don't remember I don't remember being grossed out by it at all. I just remember it being boxes. And I would say today's value, those pallets would probably be worth in between $1 to $2 million. I mean, they were some of the most pristine. They were stored very, very well. Like, it was amazingly cool down there. It was probably, I'm going to say 55, maybe 60 degrees, and dark where they were being stored. So, man, the regrets that I have of not knowing what I was messing with back then. I had no clue what I was looking at. And back then, I mean, it's 20 years ago. Like, you got to think they were roughly 50 years old, 45, 50 years old. They might have been up like 1957s, 56, 57s. I could have been throwing away accessory packet cans. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what was in those. I mean, they were, I hate thinking about it. I didn't get very many souvenirs. I got like a little brass tag out of there, and I got a little hammer to knock out the glass on a fire extinguisher door so you could get to the fire extinguisher. That's it. That's all I got out of there. A lot of memories. Got a lot of memories. That place was crazy. It was cool. Anyway, I've been blabbing long enough. Let's pick out a ration real quick. The Sapaco one, like I said, it feels thicker. Turkey diced in gravy. We really got the turkey theme going on there. This is what I'm thinking. The other one I did grab just because at least it's a loaf, and that's what I thought I was going to be messing with anyways. But I mean, ham and chicken's pretty close to ham and turkey, so not far off, you know. What do you guys think? What do you think? The loaf or the gravy? Cheap MREs in England. Oh boy. Are you talking about American MREs, or are you talking about just rations in general? Because if you're talking rations in general, I run across your guys' rations over there cheap all the time. I'm talking, you can get a case of them for like 110, 120 bucks shipped to your door of the British rations. I mean, which, if I were you, that's what I'd be buying. All right, we got 3 votes for turkey. They both kind of fit the theme, just not what I thought I had. I don't know why I had it in my head that I had a turkey loaf. Like, I'm not even 100% sure. Let me look that up real quick, because I could have swore I had a turkey loaf, and that was the thing. What did I do with my phones? Well, oh, there they are. All right, let me look it up real quick. Take me just a second. Been a minute. Info menus. All right, all MRE menus. Whoa, that's not it. There we go. We go down to the 80s, all the way to the bottom. All right, we got pork patty, ham and chicken loaf, menu 2. Chicken a la king. So 12 is beef ground with spice sauce, or 12B is chicken loaf. So there was a chicken loaf, but not a turkey loaf. So there's turkey diced in gravy, beef diced in gravy, chicken a la king, meatballs, barbecue sauce, ham sliced, and then you got the split beef ground with spice sauce or chicken loaf. And I have this weird menu that I got from a guy that was a collector a long time ago, and it's called Beef Cooked. It's a 1981 or 1982 MRE that I have, and I've only ever seen one other one that I can't remember where I seen it at, but it's got to be an extremely rare MRE to have. That it's called Beef Cooked. I don't think I've got all my phones that had pictures of that have been destroyed, unfortunately. Let's see, we go up to the next iteration of MREs, which is 86 and 87. And no, same thing. No, they don't even mention the chicken loaf. I sent a chicken loaf to Shocker years ago. I remember sending him that. That was the closest thing to a turkey loaf. All right. I'll have to change my thumbnail. Foot warmer. Oh, hey, wait. LC, howdy, y'all. I'm here. Just been having a lovely time with my handsome feline named George. He decided it was time for feline loving to say hi on my lap. I got Minnie back here. Come here, Minnie. Minnie, come here. Kitty. This is my oldest cat. And come here, Minnie. Come here. Come here, honey. You say hi, everybody. Come here. Thank you for the super chat, LC. Here. Come right here and say hello to everybody. Say hi. Oh, my girl. She is like 14 or 15 years old. I think she's 15. She might be pushing 16. I don't know how old she was when she showed up. She showed up at the house a couple days ago, and she has a pretty sizable wound on her ear up here. Turn it. Here, come here. Oh, my baby. Oh. She's got a mean look on her face right now, for whatever reason. Oh. I don't know why, but she is the best cat I've ever had, by far, but she likes to disappear. She has disappeared for as long as 4 or 5 days at a time, and that scares the crap out of me, and I don't like it, and I can't force her to stay in all the time. She likes to go outside. She doesn't like the other cats that have came around, but she's my baby. Is your cheek swelled up, honey? And she's had this cheek will swell up, and it's not a tooth issue. I don't know what it is. It just randomly happens, rarely, but it does happen. Um, maybe once a year, just at some random time. I don't know what the deal with it is. Some sort of infection, obviously. But it's usually not a problem or anything. It usually just maybe lasts a few days and then it goes away. She is definitely my favorite kitty. And man, she's definitely getting old, but you can't tell it. She doesn't act old at all. Heck, she seems a lot younger than other cats that I know that are much younger than she is. Ain't that right, Miss Manny? Ain't that right, honey? Get me all furry. Get me all furry. I'm sorry I breathed on your ear. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh. Okay. All right. We're going to have some turkey. Okay. We'll open this turkey. She's got a loud meow. And I do mean loud. All right. Worst case scenario, we can open the other one. If this one turns out to be a dud, which I mean, I doubt it. Like I said, these have been pretty remarkably good. You're all right, honey. Lay down there. All right, here we go. It says, oh, did you guys have some storm? What? Oh, stream. Not even a little bit of an off smell. My sniffer's working really good right now, which is kind of rare right now for me. I've been so clogged up. Oh, no way. Really? I had no clue. Look at that. This has got the freeze-dried potato patty. Eat dry or reconstitute in hot or cold water. To reconstitute, cover the patty with water and let soak with until soft. 2.5 minutes and then drain, it says. That right there is a find. That one item right there is, I mean, honestly, they're so rare. I guess, is this the only menu that this comes in? This mixed with the pork patty would be amazing. I mean, you're talking hash brown with sausage. Like, what a great breakfast that would have been. I don't know why they didn't do it. Yeah, I don't remember that being in here. That's so weird. I guess I don't remember what menu it came in. I guess it was this one. And we've got our cocoa beverage powder. Yum, yum. That is also a gem. Freaking love the cocoa beverage powder. I've been looking forward to having me a cocoa beverage powder. I've had some hot chocolate during the Christmas season. What else we got in here? Ooh, we got us a maple nut cake with a 4118 date code on it. A 4. What? There's no way that's right. Hold up. Let's see if there's a date code on this. No, there is not. Good old potato patty. What else do we got in here? We got our turkey diced with gravy. Yes, yes. And I forgot to start some water. Okay. Got some water started. I don't know why I didn't do that earlier. And we got some classic crackers. Date code. Almost looks like there's supposed to be a date code right there. That is not the case. And what else? We got our spoon. And what's that? Grape jelly. Nice. Yum. And last but not least, we have our accessory packet. A, with coffee, cream substitute, sugar, salt, chewing gum, matches, and toilet paper. That's everything out of the bag. Camera. That should be better. All right. Let's get a tray. And I'm looking forward to that jelly. And the potato patty. And that hot cocoa. Man, this is a good one. This is a good one. Maple nut cake. Turkey dice and gravy. Yep. Oh, nope. Nope, these go there. Crackers. Accessory pack. Jelly. Let me give that a quick little knead around there. All right. Yum. My mouth is actually watering. Kind of looking forward to some 40-year-old grape jelly, you know. It probably ain't going to taste much like grape, and then again, it might. It might be nice and grapey. All right. Nice. Pretty simple. Oh. I wish I could make that scent a thing. All right. Accessory packet. And we got our coffee instant. Classic, 2.2 grams net with ascorbic acid. A nice little pack of 6 grams of sugar. A nice amount of sugar. It's perfect amount of sugar, actually. And we got our package of iodized salt, which I do not need. Made by Stickney and Pour. Nathan Stickney showed back up there a couple weeks ago, which is cool. Cream substitute, dry non-dairy. Oh, CT here uses grape jelly to power up his unicorn magic. Bob made a Canadian trucker pack back in the day. It was a grape, I think it was a pack of crackers, 2 grape jellies, grape drink mix, and something else. I can't remember what it was. We got the blue flavored butt ration, or napkins, whatever you want to use it for. Some really fresh looking, crisp looking chiclet style gum there in the spearmint. Got some matches that are black with white tips. Obviously strike on back, made by good old D.D. Bean and Sons. You know that. Got to go way back to get out of the D.D. Bean and Sons, and that was the last bit of that. Get rid of all this stuff I won't use. Put it back in the accessory bag here. The toilet paper, gum, which I never get to. Some matches. I got so many packs of matches. Vintage military matches. I bet I could make up like a few of those boxes of like 100, I think, or 200. I don't know how many packs. I think it was like 200 in a box. If I was to try to gather all my stuff up. I've given a lot away over the years, but I'm sure I've still got a bunch just stashed away here and there. I guess it's good the bug out type stuff. Hopefully, we'll never need that stuff. But I'll tell you what, I've been hearing about a lot of celebrities building insane bunkers or buying crazy bunkers. Post Malone just bought like a $2.3 or $3.3 million bunker. Can't remember where it was at. And then I just found out about this. Mark Zuckerberg, the Facebook guy, the weirdo, is building. It's one of the largest private projects ever in Hawaii. He's building one of the largest private bunkers to be ever built, and it's all secretive and stuff. I guess anybody who works on it's not allowed to talk about it. He's fired multiple people that have tried to talk about it. Kind of a weird scenario and situation. When you see someone like that, like building an insane bunker like that, kind of, I don't know, man, makes you start thinking about, like, what does he know that we don't know? I'll be right back. Let me go start this water. All right. Here in just a minute, I think I can take... Wait, where's my main at? What did I do? Oh, it's over here. Wait a second. Let's go ahead and get this out of here. There should be a date on here. This does have a 4. Well, it says 405. That's weird. What the heck, man? I mean, that's not a date code. Huh. What? No date code on there. Crackers back then didn't have a date code. Already looked on the crackers. Jelly? Maybe? Does have a stamped code on it. 14024. Too much light. Hang on. 14024. What? This is a weird one, y'all. And I'm pretty sure that ain't the date code either. That 4118. I don't... I mean, I guess it's possible that the guy that threw other MREs in here could have thrown an 84 in here, but it's really weird that the main does not have a proper date code on it. That 405, it doesn't equate to a date code, and this is where you would look for the date code. Yeah, I think Elon would put a whipping on him too. If you're talking about Zuckerberg. Elon's considerably larger, although he is really awkward. Elon is, and I think Zuckerberg's been doing a lot of random different types of training from what I've seen. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's very possible this might be an 84 that guy threw into that 83 case, but again, this is the only thing that resembles somewhat of a date code, would be this 118th day of 84. But typically, your date code is going to be on your main, and that's not the case here. So maybe it'll be on the actual retort pouch. It's nice and glued in here. Let's see. 4058, it looks like. Hang on. It's really hard for you guys to see. Let me do a little zooming. 405812. I guess it is 84. Huh. Weird. That's the only thing I need to heat up? Yep, it is. All right, I got my water ready in there. All right, be right back. Nope, that ain't gonna work. This is gonna have to sit right here. I could make a mocha, but I really like to have the coffee and the cocoa beverage powder on their own, just because I enjoy them both almost equally. Try some powder. It's like a really nice, I kind of like a brownie mix, is the way I would describe it. Like eating a dry brownie mix. It's a little better than that, I would have to say. All right. Let's give this half the water. A little over half. Switch hands here. There we go. All right. Coffee. My Tim Tam cup from my buddy Dan, way across the ocean. Actually, completely on the other side of the earth. Dan the man, Cyanide Cookies. Has he made it into the chat? It's not super early for, I think it's like 9 a.m. for him, 9:30. I think he's 12-hour difference. It's tomorrow for him. So did everybody have a good holiday? I guess that's something I should ask. Have a good Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever you happen to celebrate. Well, that's looking like perfection. Don't celebrate it, Caitlin? Well, it's definitely not something I'll hold against you. That's for sure. It's become one of those things that, I mean, it doesn't mean a whole lot. Let's be honest. You know, it was fun for the kids when they were kids. My kids are grown. And it's just became this, like, consume sort of situation. So I'm trying to break that habit a little bit. Hopefully next year I'll do better. It's a progress. I guess it's going to progress into hopefully something where I want to start making memories, not buying junk. So like going on a vacation instead of just buying crap that they don't really need half the time. I mean, maybe 2 or 3 items that I get for them they'll need or want. I mean, all, you know, clothes is always a good thing. My kids need clothes, so they got some clothes. All right, let's peel. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna grab this out of here, and then I'm gonna go get. Jeez, the turkey diced with gravy out of that boiling water. Whoa, this thing's super vacuum packed. Interesting. Huh. Okay, be right back. And I don't like that glue on these things. It gets in your water. Just creates a mess. Alright, let me set this right here. And keep going. Crackers. Let's see if we can get a hiss this time. There we go. This old packaging, man. It's made to last, that's for sure. I swear, crackers stay sealed. I think they could survive an apocalypse. Really, I do. Especially these old ones. I mean, look at them. They are more or less exactly like the day they were packed. Like, I don't think they've really aged at all. I think they probably taste exactly like they did 40 years ago. The MRE crackers, the vintage MRE crackers, just hold up like nothing else I've ever seen. And you look at other countries' crackers, and they don't hold up like these. Well, our newer crackers, they hold up. They're not as good. They break really easily in the packaging and out. You know, once you open them, they usually start to disintegrate fairly quickly. I haven't eaten a modern MRE in a minute. It's been a minute. What, a couple months maybe? It's been a little while. I haven't eaten any off stream. No new MREs off stream. I've been watching my diet anyways, but my selection of MREs is quite low. I need to restock in a bad way. I need to find some First Strike rations as well. There was some for sale on eBay a few months ago, and I didn't jump on them whenever I should have. And I feel bad because I didn't get them. Guy had a really good deal on them. It was like, I want to say it was like 180 shipped, which would put them at like right around 20 bucks a piece, which is you know, that's fine. It's not a bad deal at all. Nice small hole there for more control, as Gundog says. Smaller the hole, the more control. Yep. Nice. It's kind of runny. I can already tell the jelly is kind of runny. And this just absolutely amazing gift that this one happened to have in it. It was this freeze-dried potato patty, which I'm certainly looking forward to having. I mean, because this thing's perfectly sealed. Made by Innovative Foods Incorporated, 179 Starlight Street, South San Francisco, California. Huh. Innovative Foods. Interesting. It looks just like a McDonald's hash brown. Like, legit. Oh, and it smells it smells like potato sticks. You know those potato sticks that came in like Frankfurters? That's what this smells like. It ain't got a whole lot of smell, but it does have enough smell that you can tell that it's potato. And it was greasy when they put it in here. Like, that's a given, which my hands are dry. But you can see, look at this thing. Look at that. Perfection. I mean, man, what a treat. You like sprinkle a little bit of salt on there. You set that out. It would look just like one of the McDonald's hash browns. You'd never know the difference until you picked it up. It was hard as a rock. I just had to get the crumbs out of this package. All right. Let's get our turkey diced gravy out here. Make sure my bowl's clean. All right. Here we go. I think there's a date code on this. Yep. 4118. So it's definitely an 84. Well, that was the only thing with a proper date code on it. So, turkey diced in gravy. You can see the delamination that happened. See that? It's not really a good sign. That, I mean, if we're being honest, it doesn't look appetizing, really, in the slightest. Some pink freaking meat and a little bit of gravy. A little bit of veggies in there. What is that green stuff? Let's see if there's an ingredients list on this box over here. I'm curious. So we have turkey, cooked and diced. Then the second ingredient's water. And then we got chicken gravy base, which has salt flavoring, monosodium glutamate, modified food starch, sugar, dried chicken meat solids, dried chicken meat solids, hydrogenated vegetable fat, and caramel coloring. That's all in the gravy. And then we've got chicken fat, modified food starch, wheat flour, cottonseed oil, and onion salt. Interesting. Nothing that I listed should be green. And there's the list. I don't know what the green stuff is. Not the onion salt. I mean, obviously. Nothing on there should be green like that. Surely it didn't come from the packaging, right? Strawberry cheesecake yogurt? Oh, no. Alright, I think I'm going to have to get rid of this real quick. Yeah, I don't know what the green stuff is. That is, I guess a little bit concerning because I don't know what it is. Let's move these down here some. Let's switch places. There we go. All right. Good old maple nut cake. I don't know if I've had one out of this batch. That was a. Have I had a maple one? Oh, look at that. Weird. It's almost like they poured dough into these retorts and just let them cook in the retort. How weird is that? It smells good though. I don't think I can get that out of there. I think it's as big as the packaging. Yeah, it ain't coming out. Huh. Gonna have to cut it. Oh man. A piece of that cake just fly down in my turkey diced gravy. I think it did. Alright, let me see if I can get it now. There we go. Look at that. That's just like a slice of perfection. That's both sides of it. The other side looks better. Set it right there. We'll see how that bad boy looks broken open here in a minute. What was the first one I had? Was it a maple nut cake? I ate the whole thing. I remember that, but it was like really light colored. I remember it being, no, it was a cherry. I had a cherry and then an orange. I think that's the 2 nut cakes I've had so far. I don't think I've had a maple. All right, here we go. Old turkey diced in gravy. Definitely not. Oh, look, there's that piece of maple nut cake. Put that up there on the edge. It can hang out up there. Definitely real meat, though. I like to see that. I'm going to start off with a little bite here. I mean, it's not tiny, but... I smell some sort of, like, seasoning. Like sage or oregano. I'm not real sure what that is. I smell something that's definitely got a spiced scent to it. And the gravy, it smells like chicken. It smells like chicken, a lot like chicken. Here we go. Leftover turkey from the holidays. I'm sure that's kind of what this is. Down the hatch. All right. It's got a real nice chew to it. First negative thing that I immediately got was it's metallic. It's definitely I don't think I left it in there too long. Maybe I did. Maybe the water was too hot. I'm not getting any weird mouth feels, which is a big indication of a main dish like this going south and no longer being edible. No weird feelings in my throat yet. I got a little bit of something caught in my throat. Well, I got a little bit of turkey caught in my throat in a weird way, but I don't think that's anything to do with it being bad. It just has a little bit of a metallic flavor to it. It's probably maybe I boiled it too long. I don't think I did though. I think I only left it in there like 4 minutes. And I only like to get these heated up because anything more than that and you will get a heavy metallic flavor added to your main dish, and you don't want that. So the least amount of time that you can leave it in that hot water to warm itself up is the best. So if it can be done in 2 minutes, then call it 2 minutes. My water was not at a rolling boil, so that's why I kind of like to leave it at like a 4-minute time frame. I need to go back and check. Maybe I left it longer. Maybe I was gabbing and left it in there like 7-8 minutes. I don't know. But it definitely has a little bit of a metallic, well, a pretty substantial amount of metallic flavor. If it wasn't for that, though, it'd be really nice. Now, I don't like the texture of it basically being chewed up for me. That's what I think when I look at this. It's like, somebody already chewed it up. Thanks for doing all the work for me, I guess. It's quite edible, though. Yeah, you could use a big straw on this. It's like a turkey shake. It's screaming for a cracker, though, I'll tell you that. Oh, man. Cracker must have had a little bit of damage. Give it a little try. These crackers have a nice savory hint to them. Really nice and caramelized toasted. The back hat, what now? I mean down the hatch. Man, that piece of turkey's lingering in my throat. Let's try this as a dip, because that kind, I mean, really, essentially, it's perfect for that. That's quite good, actually. The cracker kind of kills the, dang it. The cracker kind of kills the metallic flavor, which is good. And it's really convenient to eat like this, really. I like that. Yeah, I don't mind this at all. Which I like chicken, and I like turkey. So, this is a good meal for me. I really would like to know what that green stuff is in there, though. Huh. I don't know what that is. My hands look awful. Alright, I'm going to attempt to actually eat that by itself and see if I can get some sort of flavor from it. Let me cleanse the old palate here with a little bit of coffee. Oh. This has a vintage aged flavor to it that, I mean, it's well aged, first of all. Second of all, it's like you can't get that anywhere else. It's so perfect. Nice, well-balanced coffee. The cream and sugar is really nice, but there's not a whole lot of tannins going on there or anything. It's a nice, smooth, doesn't have that kind of dry flavor to it or anything, or that dry feel to it. Really nice. All right, let me see if I can get a gauge on what that is. I doubt it. It's not really enough there to, I don't know. I'm going to try, though. Hmm. 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 I got nothing. I have no clue what that is. It's not listed on the ingredients list, though. There's nothing that should be green like that listed on the ingredients list. Unless it's green onion chunks, is what they're calling it. No, because it said onion salt. I don't know what that could be. I mean, I know a lot of things it could be, but... And there's some in it. It's not like there's just that one piece. I know there's more in here. There's a piece. A bigger piece. So it's not like it was an accident. I don't know. It looks like grass. Oh, yeah. It reminds you of cat food a lot, actually. It tastes way better than that, though. I promise. It does have a really nice, savory, really hearty chicken, turkey flavor. The meat itself has got a lot of flavor. It really does. Cooked into the gravy like that, it's quite tasty. The gravy itself it's not overpowering. There's not like too much of it, which I've seen it that way. I've seen it where there's just like tons of liquid gravy rolling around, and this is pretty well balanced, I must say. And the meat itself, like I wish it was a little more substantial, other than this like completely shredded up. I mean, it legit does look like it's been chewed up once already. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit salty. Not too much, though. You know, whenever you have chicken like this or turkey, whatever, a lot of times it'll have like that fishy, kind of like a tuna. And Elsie, your comment just made me think of it. But I've had retort chickens, canned chicken, and it'll have like that seafood, tuna kind of weirdness. This does not have that. This is just a really nice, savory poultry. I mean, when you mix in the chicken gravy like they have it does take on a lot of the chicken flavor. I mean, I know the meat that I'm having is turkey, but it tastes a lot like chicken. Mm-hmm. Mm. I'll tell you what, I hope this is good, because I've eaten a lot of it. It tastes good. That's not all that matters, though. I wish it was. It's juicy. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Even though it's already chewed up, like already disintegrated almost, like when you chew it up, it's still juicy somehow. Which in itself is kind of impressive and surprising. One more blob, and then I'll check out the hash brown. Mm-hmm. Definitely pre-processed for easy digestion, I guess. I do like it, though. It agrees with my palate quite well. Some people might not like this, but if you like chicken If you like turkey, I feel like you'd probably like this. And you guys know, I'm a big texture guy. Like, I do not like gelatinous things, not even a little bit. And this is not gelatinous, even though it looks like it is, because I kind of had that fear whenever I looked at it. Like, oh no, it's going to be like a meat jello awfulness. And it's not. It's got a nice texture to it, really. Like, the meat itself has got a nice hearty texture to it. Let's check this thing out. Well, that cross section. That is perfection. I mean, it smells exactly like a deep fried hash brown from McDonald's. It really does. I don't know how, but they nailed that smell. I'm going to have to assume that it tastes the way it smells, but let's find out. I don't know why these... Why is there a freeze-dried hash brown with this meal? It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Because this ain't no breakfast. I don't care what anybody says. This is a lunch or a dinner for sure. All right, here we go. Give it a try. Excuse me. That is quite literally bursting with flavor. I mean, over the top. The texture's super interesting because it tastes exactly like what you would think a hash brown's supposed to taste like, except it's super crunchy. The individual little pieces of potato in there have their own individual texture, each one. Some's more crunchy than others. But, wow. Oh, you think the green stuff might be parsley? It could be. Definitely wasn't on the ingredients list, though. So, I don't know. All right, let me get all these little pieces here, because I want to add a little bit to this turkey. And give it a try, because I don't know why they put these two together, but we're going to find out if there's a reason for that. All right. Give it a little bite here. Oh, it's not bad together. It's not better than the cracker. Hey, what's going on, man? How's the weather in Alaska? Let me get some more cracker. Oh, yeah. Cracker's better. Cracker's definitely better with it. This has got a savoriness and like that toasted caramelization with the cracker. Really pairs well with this, turkey stuff. turkey chicken, I'd call it. Chicken turkey. Mm. As long as I don't wreck my stomach shortly, then this is a huge win. And this thing, it's way too good on its own to mix with that. I don't want it to go weird from the air, so I'm throwing it. Jeez, negative 36. I need to check with Miss Marilyn. She's not been on the live. Whoop. I talked to her the other day. It's been a few days. Well, I texted her at Christmas. I think I heard from her the day after. All right, wash that down. God, that coffee's awesome. I wish I could recreate that coffee. I really do. I want to do it. I want to find a coffee company that'll work with me to recreate that coffee. Negative 15 is still cold. There ain't no doubt about that. All right, let's see about this grape jelly here. Oh, hey, now. Gonna be watery, liquidy, not watery. It's thin. Oh, man. Had to get it all over the tray. All right, here we go. There it is. Nice and dark. That's actually got a lot of great flavor left to it. Usually they don't. Usually it just kind of tastes sweet. Not this one, though. This one actually, this has a lot of great flavor left to it, which is kind of weird. I mean, maybe 1 in 10 or 1 in 15 of these jellies will still, like this old, will still taste like the fruit that it's supposed to be. Which, I don't think there was any other jelly back then. I think it was only grape, if I'm not mistaken. And you didn't see peanut butter a whole lot back then in these meals either. It's only in like 2 or 3 menus. I could have put more on there. That's really tasty. And I got most of that like thin stuff. Look. It's not thin at all anymore. That looks, I mean, that's proper jelly. Huh. A lot of times these jellies will get runny. To the point like it'll just seep through the holes on the crackers. Not this one. This is really impressive. It's got a lot of great flavor left to it, too. It's not too sweet, either. The grape jelly, back then, I would say was a lot more balanced on the overall flavor than a new one. Not bad. Not bad. All right, first swig of the cocoa beverage powder. Cleanse the palate a little bit before we dig into the maple nut cake. All right, here we go. Oh, that's nice and hot still. Perfection. Super chat from LC again. Well, LC, thank you. And I cannot hardly read that. Huh. It's overlapped with your last one is kind of what it looks like. You're sick as a dog and you must eat. Doctor's orders. Only choice you have is military ration. Which one you choosing? Huh. Oh, hell. Yeah, well, I hate to just be myself, I guess. But if I had to pick any MRE, that's all I could pick from is United States military MREs, and I only got to pick one, hands down, without question, I would pick corned beef hash. I mean, 10 times out of 10. It's 100% my favorite MRE ever. I could eat it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and I could probably eat it. I'd say I could probably eat it once a day for a month and not get extremely burned out on it. I would have to mix it up with the Tabasco and maybe mix in some crackers or something. You know, I'd have to mix it up a little bit if I was eating it every day for a month. But I could eat it every day for a month. Quality-wise, the way it holds up, it's got so many good aspects to it, and it also came with the oatmeal cookie bar, which is like one of my favorite desserts ever. I don't know, just it's all around good, balanced meal that is good for. It's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So if I was to pick one MRE, that'd be the one. If I was to try to think of a number two place, that'd probably take me a minute. It depends. Do I have to pick from, like, because a lot of times you're only going to have, like, modern stuff to get your hands on when in a situation like that. When I say modern, it could be 10, 15 years old, but to most people, they don't even know when an MRE is old, as long as the bags still look the same. So we can go clear back to 2008, and they still look pretty much the same, except, you know, you're adding French in 2013 or 14. It's so perfect for this time of year. I mean, right around the holidays, it just hits the spot, and it's nice and hot, and I can feel it going all the way down into my gut. Yeah, that's nice. All right, maple nizut cake. All right. It's not as light colored as the what was a cherry nut cake that I had the first time. That cherry nut cake was amazing, by the way. Give this a smell. I've determined that I'm anemic, I'm pretty sure I'm anemic, and I've got an iron deficiency. According to some stuff that I've read, and I read up on it after I heard this, but those things are called half moons in my fingernails, and I've got them in all my fingernails, and they've been that way my whole life, ever since I was a little kid. Supposedly that means that I'm anemic and I have an iron deficiency. So I'm going to get some iron. I don't know if there's really much I can do about being anemic. All right. Well, I guess it's perfect for taking a little bite off of that corner right there. It ain't got much of a smell. Kind of smells a little bit like burnt maple syrup a little bit. Weirdly enough. All right, here we go. Start using cast iron, huh? Men have to be careful taking iron. I know I've got to be careful about how much I take, and yeah, I need to be able to absorb it. So I'm going to look. That's why I didn't just go out and buy iron and start taking it. I want to look into how to do it right. Maybe if I can get it in there just by adding something to my diet would be good. Not like cereal with iron added or anything, because there's not enough in that to make a difference. Huh. Well, that might be enough for me to get out of my deficiency that I've obviously got. I'll definitely try the cast iron. I've got cast iron skillets. That's all I got, skillets, but ESR on blood labs test determines anemia. I have a 40/20 normal range. You're anemic. I don't know. I've never had the test done, but judging by my fingernails and what I've read up on, it seems as if I might be anemic. And because of this, I'm low on iron. And if I could get that to balance out, I think that could help my overall health a lot. And it's supposed to do all kinds of things. Help my energy level, help my ability to heal, all kinds of stuff. This thing feels like, I don't know, it almost feels like silk. Like if you were to run your finger on silk, it's that smooth. It literally is as smooth as silk. And I'm not even exaggerating a little bit. Like, it is so smooth. I guess and soft, if you really, I don't know, it depends on how you categorize soft. It's not soft like squeeze, but it's soft to like run your finger over. It's really weird. The sweetness is pretty low. It's not very sweet at all. The nuts themselves have got that typical, somewhat of a strange chew to them. But overall, maple nut cake's fully edible. Nothing off-putting about it. It kind of, I don't know. The way it breaks down when I'm chewing on it, it's not like the orange nut cake was or the cherry nut cake. Both of those were absolutely, really out of this world amazing, considering most nut cakes don't make it at all. Like, they're just not edible. This one is edible, but I feel like it's kind of on its way out. I want to add a little bit of jelly on top of this bad boy. Just like that. What about Frankenberry and Count Chocula? We talking about all the iron you need in every box of cereal. I eat a lot of cereal. I eat like shredded wheat. I eat that on occasion. Well, often, I guess I should say. And then I eat like Cheerios on occasion. I like to eat stuff I don't have to add sugar to. Like Rice Krispies. If I was to eat Rice Krispies, I'd put sugar on them. And I very rarely eat Rice Krispies. I like Rice Krispies. I like the way, I like the way they taste. I like the cereal. But I don't like to add a whole bunch of sugar. The cocoa beverage powder mixed with this maple nut cake is pretty good. And the jelly kind of helped with the dryness of it and that like that weird texture that it's creating whenever it breaks down in my mouth. I don't know. It's kind of like a dry doughiness to it. Kind of like you ever play with that kinetic sand? It's kind of what it reminds me of texture-wise. It's not, but just the way it falls apart in my mouth and it kind of clumps up. It's kind of weird in the texture. And I've had maple nut cakes in it. They aren't all like this. This one's just kind of showing its age a little bit. I think the Right Away Foods MREs are in a little bit better shape than the Sapaco ones that guy put in, even though they're a year younger. Well, at least one of them was a year younger. I think the other ones were 83s, though. Pretty sure. Gonna have to try out some of them 87s. Or 86s, whatever. 86s? I think they're 86s. 86 that. I put up most all my vintage cigarettes. Going this and then take a sip of that and kind of mix it together and see how that works. Still dry. Even with liquid in my mouth, it was still dry. Weird. This whole meal, though, fully edible. I will finish that maple nut cake. 100%. No way am I letting a 40-year-old nut cake go to waste that's edible. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I gotta be in the mood for Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of milk anymore either. Like, whatever milk I got left over in the bowl, I'll dump out. I try not to put more than I need in there. I used to, like, finish the milk. I would drink the whole thing. But not anymore. Milk just doesn't, it doesn't agree with me. I know how bad it is for me, too. Like, we're not supposed to have milk as adults. Well, even really as kids. It's not good for you. It's not good for humans. How many species seek out other milk from other species? None. And here we are drinking cow's milk. It's kind of weird when you think about it. Kind of weird. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with rums and vodkas. Alright, I gotta find a vintage smoke. Miss Marilyn's not here. I've got this tin of cigarettes up here. I've been meaning to smoke one of these from Miss Marilyn. I had like 38 of them to begin with, and I think I've got 2 or 3 left now. Let's see. Let's have one of these vintage Camels right here. Nice. Look at that. Oh, that's so nice. It smells good and everything. There we go. There we go. Camel Cash. 1 C note. That's one of the hard cardboard ones too that you got to cut out. All right. These are new matches. Newer. Good Lord. That thing was in there. How old are head camels? Huh? How old are these camels? I do believe we've determined they're 22 years old, 21. I believe there's a date on this somewhere. $1998. Well, these are probably 97s. 96s or 97s. Let's see. So, 97, 07, 17. So these are 27 years old. Oh yeah, definitely more than 21. So if they were, I'd certainly 97. 97 to 2000. It's 3 years. 2000 to 2020. 2023 plus 3. 26. Coming up on 27 years. I mean, that depends on if you count 1997 or not. If you count 97, it's 7, 8, 9, 2000. 4 years. So 27, 26, 27 years old. They're not young. They're not quote unquote fresh. Been a while since I had one of these, I think. Seems like it has been. That first drag always tastes like phosphorus. Even though I let it burn off, it still tastes like a match. Unless you let that match burn like way down, almost like burning your fingers, and then you can kind of get by with, and it's still even, I don't know what it is, you still even get a little bit of that kind of match flavor that comes through, even through the filter. It's kind of weird, now that I think about it. Are these lights? These are lights, aren't they? These are lights. They don't taste like lights. I have, what are they? I have some that are 92s, I think. I've got some Camels, soft pack, hard pack, wides. That's it. Oh, no, I've got soft pack regulars, soft pack lights, a hard pack of regulars, and a box of wides. I did have a hard pack of lights too, but I smoked them. But the lights of those 92s, they taste almost identical to the regulars. And they do have a nice vintage twist to them. Like when it comes to vintage aged tobacco, it all depends on how well they've been stored. And if they've gotten holes in them or anything like that. If they're still, sometimes they're still consumable. It just depends on like where the hole's at and have they lost a lot of tobacco or anything of that nature. Smelling. I can't remember exactly what you said. Autocorrect. Okay, got the, how old are they? If you're asking how they smelled, these older camels, just kind of depends. Sometimes they have that urea smell to them, and sometimes they don't. And I don't really know what the determining factor in that is, but they all have it in the taste, in my opinion. It's got like a caramelized tobacco scent. You almost pick up a little bit of like a, I would call it like a floral note. It's unique because only aged tobacco smells like this. I can't think of anything else that has even remotely the similar, like, not even similar scents. And obviously the flavors are, you can equate some of the flavors to kind of give an idea, a little bit of some of the notes, but the overall robustness and the flavor of it is very unique to pretty much each aged cigarette has its own flavor profile. And you could have, I've had this happen. You can have the exact same cigarettes from the exact same year come from completely different storage conditions. For instance, like that can, you can't have a much better sealed cigarette than in a tin with plastic surrounding it and vacuum sealed to it so that no air was getting in there. I've opened 2 cans, 3 cans like that, and they've been different, even though they're from the same year. They came from different people, maybe different parts of the country, the atmosphere. I guess I really don't know. It could they could have been made from different batches of tobacco. I think that has a lot of the determining factor as well. I think about that a lot when I get into the 1950s, 40s, 30s era tobacco, because of how much different tobacco growing was back then and how much different the planet was. They weren't using all these fertilizers like they are now. Camel, though, Camel's been using that urea on them for a long time. I've had Camels from the 40s or 50s that tasted like that, so they've been using it at least that long. If you got some no filter MC, so there's 2 different types of non-filter Pall Malls. There's the 5-pack and then there's the 4-pack. The 5-pack are like these. They're almost like a Camel wide, except non-filter, and they're long compared to other. They're as long as a filtered cigarette. The Pall Mall non-filters are. They're. I know I'm biased when it comes to that, but in my opinion, the Pall Malls are one of the better, like, all-around cigarettes that you can get from back then. The Lucky Strikes are pretty good. I would say they're right up there with the Pall Malls. Camels, I would have to put below those. The Philip Morris are in between the Camels and the Pall Malls, I would say. Still below the Pall Malls. What else? I've had Raleighs. Raleighs are Raleighs taste like smoking a pipe. Like a reminds me of being like when I was a little kid. My great grandpa and my great grandpa both smoked a pipe, corncob pipe, and they'd puff on that thing. They'd use Lucky Strike tobacco, pipe tobacco, come in a tin, keep it right there in their coveralls or bib overalls pocket. Drink whiskey every day and smoke like a freight train. But he worked that farm from sun up to sundown every day. He quit working that farm. Grandpa was my great grandpa. He stopped working the farm when he was probably, I'm just guessing, probably about 90 or older, because he lived to be 102. And then my great grandpa, let's see, he would have been about 85 to 87 probably when he quit working the farm. And then when he retired, he just stayed in the house and sat around smoking tobacco, and that's about it. They had a huge farm. I mean, huge. Their farm was like, I think my uncle told me it was 2,000, over 2,000 acres. Huge. It went in between two main roads and went like over. I never seen, maybe, I probably seen 150, 200 acres of it on the motorcycle. My uncle, Kenny, used to ride me around on a motorcycle. And I had no clue how big it really was. And where he would ride me now, looking back and thinking back about it, like he would ride me down past this creek, and we would cross the creek and go over to a neighbor's house down there. And that was all their property. Like, we'd be riding a motorcycle for a long time, and that would have been all their property. I don't know how much they got left, how much they've sold off over the years, but I know they still got a big chunk of it left. They don't work it though. Not like, well, I don't think they work it at all. I think it's just property now. When I was a kid, whenever it came harvest time for like potatoes, green beans, tomatoes, we would all get together. Everybody'd call each other, and we'd all go out there and meet up on like a weekend or something. I assume it was probably a weekend because I wasn't in school and my family was not working. So we'd all go out there and pick green beans, dig potatoes all day for a couple days. All by hand. We did it all by hand. I don't think they ever had anything that would pick the stuff that I can remember. They really just they had huge tobacco fields, and then they would do a big garden, enough to feed the entire family. But I think that was all it was. It was just growing food for the family. Because my grandma always got as much food as she wanted. My mom never messed with it. But all my uncles would show up, and they'd all can, and they'd do all that stuff. They would. It's just how things used to be back then. A lot better, really. I've been thinking about like wanting to get into doing something like that, growing my own food. I know how much healthier I would be, and my family, if I could get them into doing the same thing and eating off the land, growing some fruit trees, and then growing vegetables, potatoes, green beans, tomatoes, not using any pesticides. You have to go out there, you have to really keep an eye on them and keep check on them bugs, because them bugs get in there. And that's it. They can wipe out your crop. They can wipe out everything. Quick, too. Yeah, it does. Now, today, that does sound like a good life. Back then, man, if you had seen the way things were and the way like the house was and how rough my family was, I mean, it wasn't, nobody would have called it good back then. Today, like, there's people that you have to pay for an experience like that. Like, it's a whole farming experience or, country experience. And I know there's some people out there still doing it. We don't take care of our farmers. Our food, our food supply, it, if you look at what Zuckerberg and Bezos have been buying up and buying up all the farm, and I guess BlackRock's been buying a lot of farm property up, a lot of rural properties, and a lot of that and single family homes. Like, man, it's crazy to think about what's next, like what's going to happen. That's what's drove the prices of houses up through the roof to where, I mean, what did I see? The median house price now is like a little over 400. I think it's like 424,000. Minnie, you're being loud. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, I'll hold you. Come here. Kitty, kitty. Come here. Come here. Come here, honey. Come here. Come here, Minnie. Come here, baby. Come here. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's my girl. Oh, look at that. A little bit of fur floating around there, huh? There you go. Now you look a little more symmetrical. No, there's my girl. Yes. There's my girl. Mm-hmm. Give me hugs. Green beans, potatoes, and carrots. I don't remember pulling a bunch of carrots or anything. Like, I know we grew them. Or they grew them, not we. They grew them. We went out and just picked them and got to keep whatever. My grandma would always can enough to last the whole year. She'd can tomatoes to make chili and, whatever. Spaghetti. Just whatever, included tomatoes. She would can beans, plenty of beans. She'd bring a bunch of potatoes home, and we'd put them in a big wooden potato bin down in the basement. And they'd, like, grow sprouts off of them and stuff. And them potatoes, well, she would can potatoes, some potatoes. But those potatoes would last for, I don't know, I'd say, it seems like they'd last like 4 to 6 months, if I'm not mistaken. It seems like they'd last a long time. Yeah, it's just, if you'd have seen how they lived, you definitely wouldn't have thought that they were living good, like living it up or anything. I don't think they made a whole lot of money off the tobacco that they grew. I mean, they made enough to pay for the farm, I guess, because but I think that farm was in our family for, my uncle said it was 100 and some years, and it's probably been in our family for before it got broken up, which I'm pretty sure it's broken up now. They might still own it all. I don't know for sure that they don't still own it all, but I want to say he said like 130, 140 years. Maybe it's longer than that. It's been a long time that they owned that farm, and they all kind of lived together out there for a long time. My great-grandpa and my great-great-grandpa lived together till they died. They never lived apart. So his son, my great-grandpa, which was my grandma's dad, lived with his dad until he died. Well, until his dad passed away, and then he was, he was still there. So, and he lived like another 10 years, something like that. Um, I did not know my grand. I still can't remember. I can't remember my great grandpa's first name. I always called him. Uh, well, I called Grandpap, which is my great great grandpa. I called him Grandpap. Like I didn't know what his name was. Um, and then Pawpaw, we called my great grandpa. I called Pawpaw. I'm getting sleepy. Hmm. Century Farm, been in the family over 100 years. I I should talk to my family maybe about seeing about. It's not in a good spot. Their farm. It's way out in the middle of the country. It's across the creek. Um, it's I'm gonna say to get to any type of town from there, you're talking 30, 40 minutes probably. I mean, and that might be pushing it out. I'm trying to think, if you go the back way in, it'd probably still take a good 30, 40 minutes. It's not in a convenient location whatsoever. But back whenever I was growing up, like, you didn't have to worry about that. There was a grocery store down at the end of the road. Like, it was called the bowling. We all called it the bowling alley because it had a bowling alley in it. There was a garage attached to it. It had pretty much a grocery store in it, and gas pumps. It was a gas station. Um, it had something else in there too. Can't remember what it was. Anyway, you could have been to that from their house in 15, 20 minutes, I'd say. And that was, that's all people needed. But now, Walmart's taken over and knocked out all the small businesses. Walmart, Amazon. I don't know, man. I'm just not a big fan of it. I'm trying to do my best to support small business when I can, when it's an option, and do my best to bolster that any way I can. I think I encourage anyone to do the same. And I know it's inconvenient. It really usually is, and that's kind of the whole point of why they've set things up the way they've set things up. Dollar Generals, there's more Dollar Generals in the United States than I think any other store. I want to say Dollar General's got the most. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. They got a ton of stores. Dollar Generals and Walmarts. Walmart's everywhere. And they've knocked out all the small businesses. Oh, miss me any. Miss me any. My freaking sink messed up on me yesterday. Well, last night. And I'm going to have to take the whole thing apart and redo the whole thing. So that's going to be fun because I'm not a plumber. Never claimed to. I've never done any plumbing work other than on new construction. Whenever I was a kid, still I was working construction with my stepdad when I was a kid. So I don't know plumbing. That's one thing I've not really had the. Well, I've never had to work it. I've done a lot of other stuff. I've done electrical. I've done carpentry. Um, Never did the plumbing though. So it'll be a learning experience for sure. Can you see yourself? Can you see you? Your cheek does look kind of. It doesn't feel bad though. It doesn't feel like it's swollen. Huh. Oh, like that. Old man showed up on Walmart in his boxers. Walmart ended up having to tell him to leave. they probably wouldn't even tell him to leave my Walmart. I took a couple pictures of these people. You know how like they got them people at Walmart? Man, I had to take a picture. It was this. It was this couple, and they were clearly on some pretty heavy narcotics. Had like sores all over them. If that tells you anything. Like they'd seen they'd met up with the Method Man, if you know what I'm saying, the Meth Man. And this guy, this white guy had cornrows and went like halfway down his back. It was they were interesting. I mean, they were definitely an interesting couple, and they were dressed really different, especially for the area. I was in, I think I was in Huntington, West Virginia, which I never go to Huntington. That was the first time I went to Huntington, and me and Amber were talking about it. Maybe that was the first time I'd went to Huntington since I got hurt. I used to have to drive up there to the hospital right after I got hurt, but I didn't go shopping or anything like that. So it might have been the first time I'd been to Huntington shopping in like 8 years, 8 or over. So back the last time I was up there, malls used to be popular. They were still like at the very end of their era of popularity, and it kind of seems like the mall scene is kind of coming back a little bit, which is good to see. I like to see the people actually in the mall and kind of having that social connection. Although everybody that's in there was on their phone looking down, nobody's seen each other. So that's one thing that I hope changes. And this AI stuff, man, it's getting crazy, man. Woo! I've been seeing and hearing things about AI that scare the bejesus out of me. See, that's how our mall was. Now, our mall was like dying. When they knocked Sears out, which I don't know how you guys felt about that, but it makes me sad to see Sears go. I mean, Sears has been such a staple in America for so many years. To see all them anchor stores closed up and just gone it's a sad feeling. It's a part of America that's just not there now. And I mean, Sears used to sell entire houses. Like you could buy an entire home kit from Sears, and it would have everything. Like it would have all the appliances in it. It would have all the fixtures in it, like all the light switches, all the light switch covers were like kind of fancy, all the trim, the windows. Like it was a complete house. All the appliances came in it. It was really, really cool. And they had like a bunch of different designs. I know there's still a bunch of them still standing today. They were quality built homes and quality kits, I guess you could say. Uh, it's just, it sucks. Because you see these people like with these house kits now, and they act like this is this new revolutionary thing. And Sears was doing that like at the turn of the century. Back in the early 1900s, they were doing house kits. Like you can still look it up, and you'll find brochures where people have pulled out of the walls, like because whenever they would build the house, a lot of times the builder or whoever put it together would take the manual on how to put it together and put it behind the last wall that they capped up, and they'd put that manual behind the wall, and people have renovated homes and found those manuals behind the walls. It's really cool stuff. Really cool. Service merchandise, never heard of that. Anybody else here have a store? I've never heard of service merchandise. Nope. State Park down the road from me has an old Sears home refurbished for rent. Was like the park manager's residence. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, man, those houses, they can be really, really cool. Some of them were really nice. I've seen like 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom. I don't know if they were originally 3 bathroom, probably two. Probably like 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom, one upstairs, one downstairs, or one upstairs and a half downstairs or something. You've seen that a lot back in the day. You didn't used to get a bathroom for every bedroom. That didn't used to be a thing. And now, like, I don't know if I'd want a house that didn't have more or less a bathroom for each. I could do the Jack and Jill suite thing with the bathroom in between them. Like, I'm cool with that. So do a 4 with 3 bathrooms or something, or 3.5. So there's a half bath for people to use when they're at the house. Because I am getting ready to build a house. I just haven't figured out exactly what I'm building yet. I'm probably going to end up buying some sort of kit or something, something like that. Not a prefab house. I don't want a prefab house. One that's already built. That's like, I don't know. I'm not sure. Thought about going with a barn dominium. Uh, I mean, I like them. Amber doesn't seem to like them so much, but I think that it'd be awesome to do one 20 foot tall, have 2 floors, and have part of it open. So we got a 20-foot ceiling and like the living room area and like a little bit off of the kitchen, maybe dining area. No, Misha Meanie. What's ICF? Build your home out of ICF. They sold toys and all kinds of stuff. They sold ARs back in the early 80s. Huh. I mean, we used to have a store called Hex, and then we had a store called Hills, which was kind of like Walmart before Walmart. I don't remember if they had food in there or not. I don't think they did. I think Hills was just like this crazy big department store. Um, we had Hex, we had Hills, and I used to live right next to a Hills when I was a kid. And like, oh god, it was awesome. They had like the shopping center and all the stores, and I used to go over to the card collecting guy that had it was called Pro Image. He had these display cases of his card collection, and then he'd sell like starter baseball caps and jackets and Nike stuff. I remember getting a Nike windbreaker from there that I wore for like 10 years. Until I started smoking cigarettes because I remember burning a hole in it. Oh. Here, I'm going to put you down, Minnie. Oh, I know, baby. Wow. All right. Well, I think it's about time to wrap it up. I'm going to finish my coffee before I finish the cocoa beverage powder. Oh, yeah, and Kmart. The last time I was in New York City, 2022? February 22? 04. Yeah. February of 22, there was still a Kmart in town. And I think it's like one of the last Kmarts, if I'm not mistaken. It might still be there. I'd say it probably still is. Hang on. Is there a Kmart in Manhattan?
Okay, here's what I found.
Permanently closed. Dang. That sucks. When did Kmart in Manhattan close?
It's permanently closed.
Yes. When did Kmart in Manhattan permanently close?
It's permanently closed.
Siri sucks, by the way. Kmart in Manhattan. Unceremoniously closed its doors for the last time on Monday. Huh, it's saying July 12th of 2021. So it must have been 2021 that we were there in February of 2021. It was there for 25 years. We went like we were there. I can't believe that had to be one of the last ones. I'm curious if there's any Kmart's still left open. That's what it looked like. Yep. Or maybe it was February of 22. We were there and it was closed, and I just seen the signs on the store. Are there any Kmart's left open? 3 Kmart's remain open after new round of something. Let's see. That was in April of 22. Last Kmart in New Jersey is set to close in October. There are no Kmart's left if it closed in October. The last one would have been in New Jersey, and it would have closed back in October. Wow. Man, you talk about the end of an era. Like, Kmart was huge. And that was Kmart. We had Kmart's before we had Walmart's. I'm pretty sure. I think. I know we had Hills, and then we had, what did we have after Hills? We had something else. Hills. I can't remember. Anyway, that sucks. Another thing from childhood and our past that's gone. Huh. I shopped the one on Northeast 14 and East Hubble. When? 16 years since there was one in Des Moines closed. The one that was here closed probably, let's see, probably about 8 years ago, I'd say. I'd say my son was probably 10 to, might have closed, yeah. Actually, it might have closed around 2016. About the time I got hurt. That seems about right. So probably about 8 years ago. I don't know. I bet I can look it up and find out. Okay. When did the Kmart close in Galveston, Ohio? Okay. Closed 2017. I was close. I was right. Wednesday. Looks like January 6, 2017. Company announced 78 Kmart's closed. Kmart stores and 26 Sears stores would be closing. Multiple Sears, all locations scheduled to close in March. Ohio. Looks like it probably closed in like 2017. Yeah, that sucks. All right. Well, did anybody have anything crazy happen over the holiday? Tomorrow's New Year's Eve. Today, maybe, for some of y'all. Is it New Year's Eve yet? Almost. 12 minutes to New Year's Eve. Anybody got any crazy cool plans? I know Trucker should be living it up for New Year's. Cowboys versus the Lions game. So there was a wild ending to that game. Are you a Philly fan? Eagles fan? Some crazy fans for the Eagles, man. Them Eagles fans can get wild. Oh, you found coffee crisp at a store? I have a feeling coffee crisp are going to make their way down here. That's like I was talking to you guys last live stream I did about Milka candy bars. Some Milka candy bars. First time I had ever seen any. Housel sent me some in a package with a German EPA. This was the first time we met up, so this would have been back in 2016. Yeah, might have got it like the beginning of 2017. Anyway, within a week, maybe two, of him sending me this package that had like 6 different kinds of Milka candy bars in it, I went in my local Dollar General store, and they had just started carrying Milka candy bars. Now you see them everywhere. Like, it was crazy. I had never seen or heard of them, and they'd been a thing over in Germany for a long time. It was weird. It was crazy. And I have a feeling like Coffee Crisp is going to make its way down here. I don't know if it'll be so as popular down here as it is and has been in Canada, but I do have a feeling that they're going to try their hand at the American market. I've been thinking about going to Columbus for New Year's. Well, you're not anywhere. Are you like originally from Philly or something? I mean, I know some people from Philly, and they're some of them are hardcore Eagles fans. Which, I mean, I got a buddy of mine. Well, a guy that he was a buddy of mine. I ain't talked to him in a long time, but he was always an Eagles. He's a West Virginia guy, born and raised here, same as me, and he was a hardcore Eagles fan. Germ says, "You hope they do make it down here." Yeah, fist fights. Oh, so you did grow up in Philly, so you got Philly ties then. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're Philly fans. They're crazy, man, or they can get crazy. A lot of guys that are Phillies fans. If you're from the ages of like 18 to 29, 30, you've always got like, well, a lot of guys had that dream of trying out for the team and making the team or whatever. Like that movie. What was the name of that movie Mark Wahlberg was in? Do they still do that? Do they still do the walk-on thing? Was it Invincible or something like that? I think it was Invincible. Oh yeah, you moved back and forth, huh? From PA to Alaska. Yeah, I'm calling it a night too. I think I'm gonna. I don't know. I might end up going up to Columbus for New Year's. I don't know. I got to be up there for a doctor's appointment anyways. I had to miss it last month because my old lady's car blew up on us. It's pretty much exactly a month ago. As of like Tuesday. It was exactly a month ago. And I ain't found a car yet. I need to get on it. I got to fix this crap in the house too. I guess I ain't going nowhere. I got to fix the freaking sink. All right. Well, huge thanks to my patrons. Thank you guys for all your support over there. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up or down. Either way, doesn't matter. Google doesn't care. Feel free to leave a comment afterwards. That helps or something. Maybe the algorithm. I don't know. They say it does. I don't know about that. Thanks all you guys that's hung out tonight. Thanks LC for the super chats tonight. And I guess all I got left to do now is say thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next live stream. Later.